Hi, everybody. Well, a couple weeks ago, we had the Carnival Freedom caught fire again, and it ended up having to cancel its next two sailings when she returned to port for repairs and getting everything ready. Well, one passenger who was actually on the ship, as well as a big Facebook group out there, over 300 people, have now voiced their concerns and saying, hey, has Carnival actually done enough for them? They've done things for the people who had the cruise canceled, but what have they done for them? So a quick recap, Carnival Freedom was at sea. It was running through some rain and a storm when there might have been apparently a lightning strike that caused the fire on the funnel to spark up. The crew immediately went into action to put the fire out. They warned passengers over the loudspeaker, please keep off the top decks, keep off your balcony for, fire and things may be falling from the funnel. You don't want anybody injured. And the captain turned the ship into heavier rain to also help the fire. And of course, once they got the fire out, the top deck was closed off while they cleaned up the area and things like that. Well, one person on board and others on a big Facebook group out there, about 300 people have been complaining about that experience on board. Some saying they were absolutely terrified and it was a horrific experience. And yeah, you know what? Fire is a very scary thing anywhere, but on a cruise ship, it can be absolutely horrifying because there's no place to go but the water. And if you're in the middle of the ocean, not near land, that's even more terrifying, right? But one passenger's come out and said that there were large parts of the ship that were closed off to her and her family and other guests, and say many of the amenities, including bars, the buffet area, were no longer available for long periods of time. And she's stating that, they were given explicit instructions that nobody go out on the outside decks or on their balconies. And yeah, if you're going through a storm, they often close top decks on windy days and things in a storm like that because it's slippery on the top decks. They don't want people to fall, get injured. That's a normal procedure if that was happening and they're going through a rain area. Also, during the fire, they don't want you up there just standing under the funnel on fire and something falls on you. So that's common sense, right? That's common sense. They were saying that scorched pieces of exhaust funnel landed on their balcony and they were huddled down in their cabin listening for instructions. Okay, that's why you don't go on your balcony. That's why they told you not to go on your balcony, so I think they did a right thing. Then they said pretty much the entire back of the ship was closed off. So that included the adult pool area, that would be the pizza place, the seafood place, and parts of the buffet were closed off. So that's the passenger side of the experience. Now, Carnival has come out and had their own response, and they're saying that first off, they always compliment the team members, and in this case, the captain moving into the rain, great idea, good decision, smart move. And also getting that fire out, no injuries, was a really good thing as well. So we're very proud of our team members who kept everyone on board safe, and we appreciate our guests and their cooperation and support. We're investigating multiple eyewitness accounts of a lightning strike. There was also heavy rain and lightning at the time the fire happened, and we always advise guests to stay indoors during storms. That happens on every cruise line, folks. Any venues that were temporarily closed because of the thunderstorm or from brief cleanup after the fire was extinguished were reopened by the early evening. So it doesn't sound like they were closed for 2 or 3 days. It sounds like it closed for a few hours and then they cleaned it up and it was ready. The ship went on to host its elegant night that evening, which was well attended by many of the guests. Carnival Freedom sailed back and, canceled its next cruise so it could repair. Now, the guests themselves are saying, well, look, the people who had their cruises canceled, you offered them their money back, you offered them future cruise credits, you offered them flight return refunds, travel expenses, and things like that. But what did they offer the guests on board who experienced a fire on board? Did they offer them anything there? Well, apparently, they offered them money for up to 3 counseling sessions, no more than $200. That is weird to me. That is weird to me. Basically, you're offering them trauma sessions to get over their fear and their anxiety of what possibly happened to them on that ship, what they were feeling and stuff like that, like a grief counselor, right? And so basically you're saying that you may have caused this to people on the ship because of the fire and stuff like that. But that's it. They're not offering any future cruise credits. They're not offering anything like that. Now, I'm of two minds like this. I think the counseling money is kind of stupid. Is that a good word to use in this case? Stupid? I don't see that point, right? If somebody is really traumatized by this incident, 3 sessions isn't going to save them. Isn't going to help them that big deal. It's not going to do too much. You can offer counseling service on board like you do when a crew member goes missing or a passenger goes missing. That's fine. That makes sense. But I don't know. If you're going to offer money like that, why not just offer a percentage of the cruise back as a refund and let people do with it as they will? Probably because very few people are ever going to take them up on this $200 offer. I'd be very surprised if anybody went for grief counseling or support counseling after this session. Most people would just go home, say, okay, that was a one-time thing. Nothing really happened. I'm okay. We'll take our next cruise. I think that's what most people would do. So it's really no money out of their pocket to offer this thing, but I still think it's kind of dumb. I really do. As far as if I was a passenger on board and this happened and they had it cleaned up by the evening, I don't think I'd be expecting something. I'd be happy if I got like an onboard credit. I'd be happy if they offered me a future cruise credit later, but I don't think I'd be expecting anything. This was an accident that happened, a freak of nature possibly, a lightning strike through no fault of the cruise lines at all. If it's a lightning strike that hit them, how would it be their fault? Apparently they did their job, they got everybody safe, nobody was injured, they cleaned up the area, and they set sail, they kept sailing, and even had the elegant night that evening. So was it really a disastrous cruise? I don't think so, and I guess I'm just one of those people who don't expect things every single time something happens. Oh my God, the ship was late getting into port today. We couldn't embark on the cruise ship for another 3 hours because of customs. They wouldn't let us on there. I want something in return. I'm not one of those people. I'm just, okay, this happened. It's a bummer. Let's continue. Yes, an accident happened on the ship. Was anybody injured? Did it stop me from enjoying my vacation at all? Oh my God, I could not go to the pizza place for 6 hours. Did that ruin my vacation? No. So I don't think I expect anything in return. But that's just my way of thinking. Apparently others, about 300 people, not so much. Now, there may be other circumstances beyond that that hasn't been reported. But from the complaints I'm reading and that, it just seems to be, what can I get? What can I get? And that seems to be the way of the world. What can I possibly get for free?